Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of The Night Shift, a podcast where we discuss anything creepy and scary, dark and disturbing, true or false. Ghost stories, UFO stories, cryptid stories, true crime stories, stuff about serial killers, shootings, ghosts, cryptids, like I said, whatever. If it's dark and creepy, we cover it in this podcast. And real quick, we've been doing a lot of urbexing on this channel lately, so we decided to switch it up and do a Night Shift podcast. But I will, at the end of the video, give you updates on future videos that we might and will be doing in this channel, just to give you an update on what's going on. Okay, today's video, or a podcast, is about a famous haunted painting, one of the most famous haunted paintings in the world, actually. It's called Proposes God Disposes, and it was painted in 1864 by a famous painter known as Edwin Landseer, and it's his fictional depiction of what's known as Franklin's Lost Expedition. It's an Arctic expedition, a ship expedition back in the early 1800s that went to the Antarctic and never came back. And it was led by Sir John Franklin, and he had a crew of over 100 people. And decades later, we found out some evidence washed up on what happened to them. But ultimately, they never returned, so we think they just died and crashed. But as you can tell, this painting is disturbing. I mean, it's Edwin Landseer's depiction of what happened to them. And as you can see, it's a shipwreck. There's a long pole that holds the mast to the sails and all that. You can see one of the polar bears is either tearing at fabric, or that could be flesh, and the other polar bear is standing right next to what looks like a human ribcage. So it's basically saying these guys went out to the Arctic, crashed into an iceberg or something, and was eaten either alive or after they were dead by polar bears. It's a pretty creepy painting. And ultimately, we do not know 100% what happened to this shipwreck known as Franklin's Lost Expedition. But now, this painting is hung at the Royal Hall in the University of London. And everyone always thought it was creepy, and there's rumors that it was haunted, but nothing really ever showed that it was a possessed or haunted painting. Until in the 1970s, a student did an exam. He was studying and doing an exam right next to the painting, and he was looking at it constantly because he had to spend hours right next to this painting doing his exam and studying for an exam. And supposedly, he left the middle of the exam, went to his dorm room, committed suicide, and left a suicide note that said, "The polar bears made me do it." And ever since then, it's been marked as a haunted, creepy, possessed, sentient painting. When I mean by sentient, I mean like it's possessed or haunted by something that's living or demonic or evil or something. Now, ultimately, this story was published in a newspaper in London, and we don't know if it's true or false. It's a rumor. It could be true, it could be false. But ever since that story came out, they hang a Union flag over the painting whenever students are studying or doing an exam right next to it, so they don't have a repeat of some students doing this suicide thing with the polar bears. Also, there was one time where they forgot to hang the Union flag, and lots of students did an exam next to it, and they pretty much all failed. So ever since that also happened, they also hang the flag over it, because there's this rumor that not only will it make you go crazy, but it'll make you fail your exams because it's such an evil painting. Now, this painting has been in the Royal Hall at the University of London for a while now, and it's known to be one of the most haunted paintings in the world. Obviously, there's other famous paintings like The Crying Boy, which supposedly if you own a copy of that or the original version, your house will burn down. The Hands Press Against Them, which we will cover other haunted paintings as we go along. Maybe we'll even do like a compilation of the top 10 most haunted paintings on this channel. But that's all with this painting. It's known to be haunted. There was the incident with the student, which we don't know if it's true or false. The fact that they do cover it with a Union flag now, that is true. But the origin of the story about the student committing suicide and leaving a note that said the polar bears maybe do it, we don't know if that's true or false or not. And also, the story where they forgot to hang a flag over it and then all the students failed their exam, that is true. or came close to failing in their exams. That is a true story also. So anyways, that's about the haunted painting known as Man Proposes, God Disposes. Real quick, this is a short video, some updates on future videos. We might be going to the Packer plant in Detroit soon. There's an abandoned house I want to check out. And also, we haven't done our original show, Supernatural Skeptics, in a while, which is a show where, as skeptics, we investigate the paranormal. We might be doing a show at the Haunted State Theater soon. But no matter where, we plan on doing one of those soon, because those were pretty popular on our small little channel, and people like them, and it's unique. And no one else on YouTube does stuff like that. So yeah, you all have a creepy night. Good night.